Zero tolerance, former Detroit PD Chief James Craig sounds off on potential Antifa violence. Warning, graphic footage. Former Detroit Police Chief James Craig joins Tucker Carlson tonight to call on federal authorities to crack down on agitators. As the country gears up for potential violence in the wake of the Tyre Nichols incident in Memphis, one former police chief is speaking out, hoping to delineate true organic protesters from intentional, and often political, agitators. Former Detroit Police Chief James Craig told Tucker Carlson tonight on Friday that in the wake of the police-involved killing of George Floyd, his city was one of few major cities that did not make headlines for protest-related violence, like Philadelphia, Portland, Washington, and New York did. Host Tucker Carlson asked how, given that observation, Memphis police officials should respond to any inorganic protest behavior of the sort. Zero tolerance, Craig said. Detroit was one of the few big cities that wasn't rioting. It wasn't burning. There were a few attacks on police officers, but we took a firm position: we don't tolerate violence. Tyre Nichols arrest, videos not looking good for officers, former NYPD detective says. An Antifa flyer seen in New York. An Antifa flyer seen in New York, Tucker Carlson tonight/Fox News. Craig criticized the Biden administration and Justice Department for what he called a weak stance toward Antifa in the wake of unrest following previous police-involved deaths. What is Biden's DOJ doing about Antifa? Absolutely nothing, and it's shameful, he said. Look, I get the January 6th insurrection, but what are we doing about Antifa? They're threatening cities across this country, and then people, they lie and say things like, well, you know, it was peaceful protesting. It's not peaceful if you are looting, setting up autonomous zones, taking over police stations, attacking police officers. That's not peaceful, and so this madness needs to stop. Tyre Nichols body cam, Memphis authorities release video of deadly traffic stop. Tyre Nichols protesters gather. Tyre Nichols protesters gather. Megan Myers/Fox News. Craig recounted how Biden once claimed proper police procedure for discharging a weapon at a threatening suspect is to shoot him in the leg instead of center mass. Are you kidding? Craig asked. When I last looked, Biden has never been a police officer. I've never been a president, but I do have a shred of common sense. Craig said anti-police activists like Antifa will use Nichols' death to demonize all police instead of focusing on the 5 now former officers indicted in the case. Judge Janine Pirro, Tyre Nichols cops are bringing shame on everyday cops video. Can we just paint every police department with one broad brush? We can't do it. When you talk about training, well, all police are bad. No, they're not. I've worked with some of the finest heroes in America for 44 years, and guess what? When we had a bad one, we dealt with that, he said. So the question I have, is this systemic? Is this a pattern and practice in this police department? I don't know that. Craig underlined he knows Memphis Police Chief Cyrlin Davis and believes her to be a wonderful chief, adding that makes him wonder about the culture within the Scorpion unit the 5 indicted former lawmen were part of. Charles Kraitz is a reporter for Fox News Digital. He joined Fox News in 2013 as a writer and production assistant. Charles covers media, politics, and breaking news, and has covered the annual CPAC conference for Fox News Digital. Charles is a Pennsylvania native and graduated from Temple University with a BA in broadcast journalism. Story tips can be sent to charles.kraitz@fox.com.